We have a 95 Ford Explorer. The check engine light on this is showing us a lean O2 sensor code. And what I want to do, this is a perfect opportunity to show you a couple of simple tests that you can make to determine whether or not you have a problem with the O2 sensor, or if you have a problem with some of the ignition systems or fuel systems on this vehicle. The first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and check our fuel injection system. This is kind of a unique little tool. These are called Noid lights. The Noid light is going to plug in the connector on the fuel injector. They have different pin configurations determining what type of vehicle that you're going to use it on. Okay, there's our fuel injector plug. I've got the center injector is unplugged now. But what I want to do, okay, we want to see which Noid light terminals are going to match the terminals on our connector. And I think that's it right there. It is. And that's what it'll look like when it's installed properly. So our next step now is to go ahead and start the engine up and check to make sure the Noid light flashes. We've got a flashing light, so that tells me that the power and ground going to the injector is working. Something else to notice too, you can see how the engine has kind of a rough idle right now because I basically have killed that one cylinder by disconnecting the fuel injector. So now I'm going to go ahead and shut the engine back off and connect this back together. Okay, we can go ahead and disconnect our Noid light and plug our connector back in for the fuel injector. We repeat the same procedure on the other 5 cylinders. One of the tests we want to do with the fuel system, the fuel injectors, we've already checked the circuit to the injector with the Noid light, and we know the circuit is okay. But there's a neat trick you can do here. It's real easy to do with a mechanic stethoscope, just a standard mechanic stethoscope. These are available at AutoZone. You can actually listen to how the injectors are working. What I mean by that is the fuel injectors are basically a 12-volt solenoid. The more ground the computer gives the injector, the farther the injector is going to be open. What we want to listen for is an audible click to each one of the injectors while the engine's running. You'll hear like a clicking sound. And so a couple things we want to do here. One is we want to make sure that the injector does click. For example, the injector we just tested, if the Noid light showed the circuit was good, but yet there was no click from the injector, we know the injector is dead and would need to be replaced. Something else we want to do is we want to check all 6 injectors and listen for the click. It should have a nice crisp click to it. If it doesn't, for example, if you have 2 or 3 injectors that have more of a dull sound to it, you know those injectors are dirty. In that case, the repair would be to add fuel injector cleaner to the fuel tank, and after a little bit of drive time, come back and listen to the injectors again and see if the problem's solved. So what I want to do now is start the engine back up. With a stethoscope, I want to go around and listen to all the injectors and see how they sound. Now, when you're performing this test, a couple things to keep in mind. One is the engine is running, so make sure you stay away from the belt area and the alternator area. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place the tip of the stethoscope on each one of the injectors, and I'm going to listen to the click. Now, some of the injectors are easy to get to, and some of them I'll actually have to go through the passageways here by the intake manifold. This is just going to vary from vehicle to vehicle, but the main thing is just be conscious of the fact that the engine is running. Let's go ahead and start with the very first one. And what you want to do is place the tip of the stethoscope right on the body of the injector, like right now. I'm listening to number 1. It has a good crisp click to it. Let's go to number 2. Okay, now the first and second injectors sound exactly the same, or close to it. Number 3 in row here. Now this one, it's working, it's operating, but it doesn't have that crisp sound that the front 2 do. Okay, let's go to the other side. Okay, that one sounds good. That sounds like the first 2 I checked. Okay, if I can get on that one. There it is. Okay, and that has a crisp click to it as well. Now let's go to my last one here. Okay, that one sounds good. Okay, all 6 injectors are working properly, except the very last one. I'd be concerned with the fact that it is a little bit dirty. The next step really that I would advise in this case would be to go ahead and put the cleaner in the tank, drive it a week or so, and listen to them again to see if that improves that one injector. Let me go ahead and shut the engine off. Well, on this vehicle, we know that we have one injector that's dirty, and that may be causing all of our problem, our lean condition. So the step now is to go ahead and put the fuel injector cleaner in the fuel tank. We're going to go ahead and drive the vehicle, but there's still a chance we do have a bad O2 sensor. But that we need to know for a fact that we have a problem here, so we want to correct this problem first, and then go back and see if the code reappears. As with any job, to do it right, you'll need the right tools. The nice thing is that jobs today don't require a large, expensive assortment. Basic hand tools are generally all you'll need. In case where a specialty tool is required, be sure to check with AutoZone's Loan a Tool program. They have many specialty tools that can help you complete your job a lot quicker and easier. The first things you'll need are a socket set and a repair manual for your specific vehicle. You may also need screwdrivers or pliers to remove some components.
Be cautious when working under the hood. If the engine has been running, components will be extremely hot, so be careful what you touch. When working around a running engine, it is important to be alert and never wear loose clothing or a necktie that can get tangled in belts, pulleys, or the fan. If you have to lift the vehicle, never work under it until it has been secured with wheel blocks and securely positioned on jack stands. A hydraulic jack alone is never enough. And always remember to wear your safety glasses. Get the entire DVD for this repair and all other procedures covered in the Complete Car Care series at your local AutoZone store.